I don't get to go bid anywhere else. They did give me new rates. We just have to pick what terms we want to go with. Their current rates for Diamond Bank are 6 months, 4.010. For 12 months, 4.510, 18 months, 4.510, and 24 months, 4.010. So we have to pick what terms we want to do.
Yeah, you got one sheet there.
Yeah, I have all these sheets. I'll give you, each one of you. But we only get to look at Diamond Bank for these two. Here you go, Chris.
Why do we only get to look at that?
Because they've already rolled a note
These ones
over.
are already rolled over. These ones-
They've rolled over since y'all started over Jack, and he's rolled over. And we
These
didn't
ones
get
rolled over.
these two. We're
Just
gonna look
these
at the
two.
rest of the money elsewhere.
Just these two.
And if you just want to put them in for 4 months or 6 months,
6 months.
that's fine.
That's up to you.
If you don't want to go any longer than that, you can do whatever you want. On those two only, then we need to look at the rest of the money. Or some of the rest of the money. I don't think we're ready to move it all tonight, but
But because I lapsed in knowing these were
Right.
Expired.
Oh, yeah, we have transition.
Uh,
Sure.
they're gonna basically keep them, but we gotta pick what terms we want. You guys get
I
to
make
pick
a
which
motion, we
terms.
do the 6-month rate.
What's the money market account deal that's on here?
checking accounts.
Checking accounts that we can write checks on. That was gonna be for something a little bit later, maybe.
Why wouldn't all of our accounts be that way then? If you're making, I mean, you can make 3.5% variable rate at Southern Bancorp. I'm just saying, what are we doing?
We're doing a 0.10% in two of our accounts, and then we've got two money market accounts that are drawing 1.5%.
Okay.
But you can move them to money market accounts and get the rates they're showing you.
Anyway,
So the one we're doing right now, though, is the Diamond Bank one.
Currently talking about the two Diamond Bank
How much are
ones.
those?
And you
Yeah, just for
motion,
the sake of speed, I say roll them, we'll do it. I mean, I.
1.6.
I
We have, this one, we have 1.16% is what we're making on these two CDs. One is for 70,000, and the other one is for 36,000.
The 12-month rate's not that far off from anybody else, is it?
at
6
Diamond,
months.
it's actually in the mid range there.
Whatever y'all want to do, those two need to be where they are because they've agreed just to charge you no penalty and roll them over whatever time you want. They've got them set for 36 months right now, but
I'll make a motion, we do the 6-month and redress it when we got a full house and but I mean, interest is still going up, so.
we have a motion that we do CD 372153. That's a water bond CD, and CD 288861, which is a sanitation CD for 6 months.
I'll second that.
Have a second? All in favor? Okay. All right. I would like to consider, and we may not move it all tonight, but I would like to consider, if you look in, let's look at street fund first. We've got $700,000 of that that's gonna go, by the end of the year. You got $700,000 worth of projects. Well, but some of that's co-op, some of that's got rebates and all in it. I would like to see you put, that account, I think, is drawing 0.10% interest. I would like to see you move $800,000 or something. And according to our accountant that does the water audits, he wants you to break your CDs up in 6, 12, 18, 24 months, so they start rolling over every 6 months and you can look at them. He don't want long terms out. I don't know if you want to do that. That's what your water auditor said do when I talked to him, because Brendan was concerned whether he could move that into CDs. He said most definitely, but he would not put them all at one time. He'd have them all rolling every 6. So if you set these up now, 6, 12, 18, 24, you can look at what you want to do as they come up. If y'all don't want to put them, if you think interest rates are going to go up higher and you just want to do them for a shorter term, that would be fine too. But I would suggest moving at least, you got $1.9 million in that account today. You're gonna be presented with something here in a minute that's probably gonna take $50,000, $60,000 out of that account. And you've got about $700,000 worth of work coming out of that money. But a lot of that is grant money, so I can't remember right off the top of my head whether, I had all that figured up, but it's at the store. I got tied up with
We're
engineering.
gonna give all the banks the opportunity to bid these
Right there's their bids.
Oh, it is?
This is all their bids right
They're
here.
all there.
Okay.
Now then,
I got
you can go into money market accounts with each of those banks. If you want to just move it into money market accounts, you can go at 2.75 with Diamond. You can go at 2% with Farmers, 1.25 with First State, and Southern Bank Corps 3.5 on money market accounts.
Seems like all of our checking accounts need to be a money market account.
There was a limit on how many checks you could write on money market. It was my understanding that there's no limit on the checks you can write on those now.
Now
Is that
they're-
what your understanding was?
Now they were saying there was no limit. So there was at one point, I think they're needing some money.
Sounds like a no-brainer to me.
As we've talked lately, all interest rates have been changing. We haven't been handling our money very well. So we're losing money. The banks are making money on our money, and we're not. So
We need to address some out of sanitation, we need to address some out of street and water and sewer. We need to address all three accounts on what y'all wanna do. Now then, the thing I've got to ask, would need to ask a question on, I don't know, Diamond Bank has securities pledged against, because you've got most of your money at Diamond Bank right now. And Diamond Bank has guaranteed amounts for the amount of money we got in there. If you move a bunch of money to another bank, I'm not saying that that's not a way, they got a way to cover it, but
there might be a time frame we have to give them or something.
you gotta find out how they're gonna insure,
Right.
because you're moving over $250,000 in account. Diamond, and because it was Farmers, were the only two banks I was on the council before, both have securities up for whatever money they got above the 250. I'm sure these other banks do. We need to get with Brenda or get with you before you move the money and make sure, if you were gonna move it from one of the other banks, you gotta we need to make sure what our security is, more than the 250,000 or whatever it is.
Right. Now, I gave them, at this current price, I gave them a $1 to $2 million range. So I would not want to move any more than that currently. I would like another meeting and do another, if we were going to move more than that. I don't think they're going to want to insure any more than that. I didn't give them anything more than that to bid on. So
You got $1.9 million in street fund. You've got, in water and sewer, you got that's all right. That's sanitation, you got, sanitation, you've already got 600,000 of your money in money market and sanitation. It's in a money market account, I don't know what that, or bank certificate, 607,000. You've got it about right. Sanitation's already got 600,000 in CDs.
Does the interest?
Interest stays with the account it's drawn on. It can't move over.
Okay, it can't be rolled over.
Yeah.
Well, just the $2 million is a 4.5%, and one's a little bit higher than that.
look at the First State at 4.95. I mean,
That's what I'm saying, but you're talking about almost $190,000, almost $100,000 just by moving some money over there. If we could let it sit over there for a while, so it would be nice to be able to roll that into general fund.
It would be, but we can't.
That ain't going to general fund.
I
That's
know
the
it
conversation we've been having all night.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But regardless-
I said it would be nice.
You're right, but regardless, right now, the bank's currently, making the majority of that interest on our money, and we should be,
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Chris?
Diamond
How much-
Bank,
how much
Diamond
we-
Bank's at 451 on 12 months, they're at 451 on 18 months. Farmers is 435 on 12 months, 450 on 18 months, 435 on 25 months.
Yeah, but we don't have anything at First State, do we?
We
We've
have
got
two
some at all.
CDs.
Just two CDs?
We have two CDs at First State right now currently. We have no checking accounts or anything, you know, just two CDs. Most of our money is at Diamond Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So with a money marketing account, can you move more money into that later? Like, you know, we could only move 1 to 2 million right now. If we,
Your CDs, you can buy whatever you want. Your money market account's just gonna be checking accounts.
right,
So you can move, I mean, you can move whatever in and out of that you want every month.
okay.
And it's gonna be on what the average daily balance is, right?
Yeah.
The Southern Bancorp one, the money market account at 3.5% says variable rate. Is that variable like the Diamond Bank one where it's a 12-month review, or at any given time can they, did they,
They didn't state. They said variable rate. Right now, it's been at 3.5, and it's been at 3.5 for a month. You know, it's been at that. I don't know when that's going to change. I don't know if it's locked in for a year. When they emailed me these quotes, this is how they answered the questions. These can always be asked further information.
Would y'all like to move some of it this month and then come back next month and finish the rest of it, see how it shakes out, and let Ryan go back around and re-question it again?
yeah, I do.
Some of these can be CDs.
But we definitely need to look at changing
But
all of the checking accounts over.
As
to
much money as we got
installments, too.
sitting here, it's gonna cost us a pretty good chunk of money just in a month.
You're not kidding.
So me personally, I was just sitting there trying to pick the best rates. I like Chris's idea on the money market thing. The only thing is, I don't know the answers to the questions about how, you know, for sure how many checks you could write, if you're in problems on the insurance, all
Y'all
that
wanna
type
come-
of deal. But I would. I
If
mean,
you want some questions answered on that, we can have another meeting
we could do
the next
some.
night or two if you wanted to. Y'all tell me, I don't care.
We could do part of it. We could do the 12-month 4.95 at First State.
That's what I was thinking.
You know, if we're
And
going to
then-
do CDs, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, and then we could do the 18th month with First State at 4.8, and that would give us the 12, the 18, and then if you go to the 24, you would be maybe Southern Bancorp at the 24.
Mm-hmm.
8, you know, if you was trying, we just done a 6, we'd have a 12, an 18, and a 24. If we wanted to do it like that guy was saying do
If
it.
you don't want to do a 24, you can back them up shorter. He just didn't want them to get extended out long.
Right. Right, but I think I was there whenever he was talking about that 6-month thing.
I think that in the
Like
first,
they have to be in
isn't
there
that
signing checks.
First State all, the 12, 18, and 24 all the most?
Yeah.
Really doesn't make any sense to put 24-month CDs in right now, because I think interest,
May change.
Yeah.
I mean, you're at 495 on a 12-month. I don't know if you, why would you want to move any longer than that? If it's the
We
most
just
interest.
done some with Diamond. Why don't we do a third? Why don't we do a third with Farmers, a third with First State, and a third with? Yeah.
I just did a 2-year with farmers. I also have 2 more coming up. It's the next thing we need to talk about. We got 2 more coming up that are small ones, a 10,000 and a 21,000 that are going to be coming up here real shortly. And they are from farmers that are going to be coming up real shortly.
Are they-
I'm going to get new
Can we
bids on.
combine them, or are they two different?
They're going to be
They're two different accounts.
They're 2 different ones I'm gonna have to get new bids on. She just handed me into these tonight.
That's a detention fund account, I mean Glenwood Fire Department account. That's the one that's on the fire truck. That's the $10,000 talking about we got back for fire truck.
So she just handed me these tonight, so I'll have to get new rates for these tonight.
When are they coming due?
Maturity 3/24/24, 3/24. So
I just do them, you're right now, I'd do them, I'd approve those when whatever you're doing tonight, because those are gonna need to be done for next council meeting.
yeah,
3/24, they're due, so
they're due.
roll them at three, if you're gonna leave them with them, roll them at 3/24 or move them at 3/24.
Right.
Whatever y'all wanna do.
They were 12 months?
These were, yes,
12 months,
they were
okay.
12 months.
And they're with farmers,
They were with farmers, yes, at 12 months. So
I say do a 12-month and 18-month with the first date.
I'm with Chris, I'd second that motion if that is a motion.
for these ones here, these current ones that I have, is what
let's
you-
do those two first, and then we'll go on, yeah,
Okay.
that'll be fine.
If you're gonna do those, do you wanna roll them to another bank, or you wanna keep them there at first date?
Well, if we're gonna do, at the top of Chris says you got $1 to $2 million, are we talking about that right now?
No.
Well,
He's talking about
That's
those
the
two,
ones
and then
he
we're gonna
got
go to
in his
$1 to
hand
$2
right
million.
The 2 12 months he's got in his hand, what are they total?
This one is 21 and 10.
Those can't be
It don't
combined.
matter enough, stick it wherever you think, Chris. I'll second it.
And they were at Farmers?
They're
I'd say
at
give
Farm
farmers.
farmers.
I don't wanna stick everything in one place, though,
Yeah, but 21,000, 21.
it's not gonna be a huge
That ain't
difference
no-
on that
yeah.
at all,
Then keep
so.
it at
I'd say
Farmers.
keep it
Myself
at farmers
personally,
for
keep that
simplicity.
with farmers, roll that over.
Okay, so I need a motion for this.
I make a motion, we leave them CDs, at
Farmers.
Farmers where they currently are.
At 12 months.
At 12 months.
Yes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Let me get those two numbers down.
Okay.
I need copies of that and get through if you don't mind, so I get them for mine. But we'll get them after all. All right. Now then, street fund. Are y'all wanting to move some, I mean, we need to, what you want to do, but I mean,
I'm kinda liking Chris's
Are
idea
you
on the
on-
street, if we got, how much we got in the street fund?
$1,000,009.
What are you proposing?
But you can't
Are
move-
you wanting to move that, enough of that money over to, like, another checking account? Or are you suggesting CDs?
I would take $1 million of it in CDs. You're gonna have, well, this year without any income coming in, you're gonna,
Why don't we
You got
move the
900,000
million,
to spend.
why don't we like, do what he's talking about on the money market account, 3.5%.
Yeah, but my
If we
question
get
is on
something-
that, the variable rate on that, are you locked in for a certain amount of time? I don't wanna do the 3.5%, the next month it dropped to 1.9.
No, I understand
You
that.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd be better off, if that's the case, you'd be better off because you know you're getting a flat 2% fixed at Farmers Bank. I know I'm getting 2%, it's not gonna change from that. Or I know I'm at least getting 12 months with Diamond. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's,
Or you throw
what's
in
their
the-
variable rate? Is it locked, is it 12 months variable or
Is that what you-
what is it?
I think you'd be better with a CD
Or you
or,
throw in a CD for almost 5%.
There you
Right,
go.
then we should do that at First State for 12 months, where it's at 4.95
Now, are you wanting to put the whole,
million.
we shouldn't, okay.
Because you're looking at other money to pull.
If we've got most of our money in Diamond right now, I would say take the other three banks, if we wanted to pick the amount of CDs.
If we're gonna do that amount, I'd say the highest percentage.
Highest percentage and roll with it, and if we have to take a penalty, if we have to take a penalty, then we have to take a penalty, but, I don't foresee us having to take a penalty anyway. So,
Why would we take a penalty?
inaction is action on this deal, cause it's costing us,
Why would we take a penalty if
well,
I,
like if we had to get it early or something like that.
well, I mean, If I tell them I need $1 million to put in this account, if they tell me I need it next month.
You mean pulling it out? Is that
Right,
what
I'm
you're
saying
saying?
if we have.
It's coming out of checking
Would you-
account, it's coming out of checking and going into CD.
Right.
Right,
For the-
but he's saying if we put it in a CD for a year and we need that money
Couldn't you
back,
borrow against your
then we
CD?
pull it, get a penalty.
Yeah,
Is
I
there?
We don't get a penalty, we just don't get the interest.
You'll
Okay.
get a penalty of some kind, but it may,
Yeah,
it
but
shouldn't be
why-
I
more
think
than
they
the
penalize
interest.
you 3 months interest.
Yes.
But basically what I'm saying is if we table it to the next meeting, we're already getting a penalty, 1 month's penalty anyways, right?
Yep.
Theoretically.
You just don't get.
You're not
You're
gonna,
not
there's
making
no way,
interest
there's
on
no
it.
way water's gonna need,
Streets,
streets is gonna need that $1 million
I
in the
make a
next
motion.
year.
12
We'll do
months.
the 12 months at First State for 4.95% with $1 million.
I second that.
You have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
That's street fund, $1 million.
Now what's next? When I leave, y'all ain't going to quorum, are you, Billy? Because I'm fixing to have to go here pretty
We're
quick.
not going to have the forum when you leave. Well, I can vote, but I don't want to do that. Okay, in, water and sewer, I would move, I wouldn't move all that at one time, but you need to put at least $1 million of that
How
somewhere, at
much
least
we
this
got in there?
$2,762,000.
We need to put about $1,000,007 anyway, don't we?
Or 2 million. I
2
mean,
million?
this here's water and sewer, we're gonna have to pay for that clarifier. You paid 135. That won't show in that you've got that clarifier you're paying for. It's gonna be 270,000. And you're gonna have 60,000 on a deal that you're gonna bring up next.
So what's left?
Well, the two
1.3.
million,
That's 300 something. So what's left? What'd you say was their total?
We've only got, you don't have $1 million worth of work to do this year.
Yeah.
By no means. We're gonna need to address this some more the next meeting. I'm just trying to get some of it stopped. I
yeah.
mean,
So
y'all
what's the
can-
most you think we can move and still be safe? Because right now, we need to move all we can.
you can move $1.5 million, I think, not be hurt at all right now. And look at it, I think you can move more than that, but I don't think.
I think we can move about 2 million if we got
I
9,000.
don't think, I think you can move 2 million.
I say let's move I'll tell you what'd be kinda, well, that rate the one we just got through voting on just a minute ago.
The year for the.
I'm with
4.9.
Chris on, I like his idea of not having it all in one bank, but at the same time,
Right now it is.
yeah, it pretty much is anyway, but if they
At least now you're
can
supposed
provide
to do
us
it
with
too.
something, instead of having to get 3 banks to provide us with something saying that they would insure the whole amount in the event something went wrong, it'd be easier on Ryan to be able to get one bank to give us the best rate, to be able to say, yes, we'll insure it, here's your paperwork, proof that we will insure this money. I mean, I'd be fine with going with one bank in that case, rather than have 3 that we hoped, spread out. That's just me, but it don't matter, it's whatever you guys want to do. But we moved $1 million to the best rate.
If I was gonna move it, I'd move it to the best rate. Doesn't make any sense to have it anywhere else.
I make a motion, we move another $2 million to First State Bank if they can provide us with the paperwork that, or provide us with, some kind of guarantee that they're gonna cover the $3 million total.
That needs to be your question when you're making a deposit there, because we're gonna have to release Diamond Bank from that, and they should do that, but
Yeah,
Okay, so
we'll
make a
make sure
motion that they can cover.
that they,
that's not covered under the 250. It's
and
covered.
it's not just a verbal.
The
I mean,
3
like-
million.
Now, they'll give you written.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So I'll make a motion for the 2 million.
Yeah, it's only for 12 months, it's a good rate. I mean, it's,
Okay.
I second Alan's.
Motion and a second. Ryan's still writing, so I'm trying to give him time to get everything right.
Okay, Carrie seconds. Insure the 3 million, 12 months. Okay.
And then next month we'll need to,
82, if we put it off till next month to move that 2 million, it'll cost us $8,250.
we need to do more than that, but that gets us where we need, that'll get some of it started. Next month we'll look at it a little longer. Let's get on.
Yeah.
So I need a vote.
Okay, had a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, okay. Rock Creek Insurance, that's the insurance on the depot. 83,400 is the building insurance, 20,000 is outdoor sign. Wind and hail, 2% of a $2,500 minimum. Flagpole's got $2,500 on it. It's $1,346.80. That'll come out of general fund.
We spent 25,000 on that.
Flagpole, that ain't near enough if something happened to it, but that's what you're carrying insurance on it for. Well, total's what, 1450.80. That's who's had it. I don't know if that's the only one been writing it. This got put on my desk that had to be voted on because it's past due. I found out about it today.
I'm gonna say, based on my recent experience messing with that stuff, that leaving it alone and not rocking the boat, we don't want them to go in there and reassess that whole thing and all that kind of stuff and wind up with a $5,000 a year commercial policy, a big policy. But I'd make a motion to leave it alone and let that baby rock, because they're going to depreciate the fire out of it if something happens to it anyway.
Hope that's replacement cost. But anyway, that's with Rock Creek Insurance. Is there, have a motion, Alan, to accept this bid?
Is this a year?
Yes, ma'am.
I second it.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Top Gun Insurance. They're the ones that we're doing in the fireworks place. And the city has an ordinance that if they do fireworks in the city, they get 2.5% of the revenue for the people they allow to do it. They pass that, y'all passed that last year or before. But so everybody's been doing this. I told Miranda, I didn't realize you had that ordinance. I told Miranda to go back and make sure and remind everybody. I know you've been getting your money, but the ones we voted on before, because you voted on doing them the way they were in the past.
Yeah.
So that'd be the same thing. This is the same one you've already approved. This will be the one in the building.
Okay.
That'll make all three of them that you approved last year approved again this year.
I make a motion to approve Top Gun fireworks.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Independence Day celebration. Brett?
You got 34 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, so last year, we did the Independence Day thing at the park, the city park. Y'all gave us permission to do that. This year, we want to move to the industrial park to give us more room. Last year, we cooked our own food, did stuff like that. This year, we're gonna ask if y'all would be willing to make an amendment where we can have vendors in the park for that one-day event. Right now, there's a ordinance that says no vendors in the park. We're looking for an acceptance for that, to see if y'all would allow us for that one day for that event.
We would have to go back and repeal an ordinance, wouldn't we?
No, you can amend it for the one day. That's what you did on the fireworks
I
thing.
think there's a clause on that ordinance that the mayor can do an override on that ordinance.
Y'all just vote on it because you vote on it. It's
Right,
the same thing you did on the fireworks line, each of the fireworks. Because you got an ordinance against fireworks.
Be there or whatever to help.
We're gonna
help
get
pay for
with,
everything.
we're gonna get with the chamber and partner with them this year.
Right.
There will be a vendor fee. They'll come in and pay us a set amount and for a slot, just like Kettle River Days. And they'll be able to set up for the day.
Okay.
We're looking at doing
And when is it? What day is this?
July 1st.
First?
Saturday before 4th of July. And we also need permission to have, the park that day, the industrial park. You'll have to give us permission to have it also.
Need to make sure there ain't no big ball games that day, just to be sure if there is, you're gonna need to, what you can do it for $25, supply them with some type of a plug-in Wi-Fi service, because if not, no, we done run into it on the last deal, on the last thing up here. On this like Sawmill Day style deal, but,
That's, I mean, we're, like I said, we're just now getting started, but it's time for us to start planning and getting everything together. Plan on having a car show, the game and fish, right now, it's looking like they'll stock the pond the day before. We're gonna try to have a fishing tournament that day. Then the vendors, last year, you had a big crowd in the morning, and then we lost them in the afternoon, and they came back right before the fireworks started. We're looking if we can get vendors and booths and stuff like that in there, we can keep them busy all day and have stuff for families to do all day long. And then we're planning on shooting fireworks from the shooting range this year. That gives us better distance, and we can use bigger shells and,
Safer.
yeah, it's safer than right there in the neighborhoods.
Okay, so to have a motion, we allow the fire department and chamber to use John Benjamin Park July the 1st for the fireworks show.
I'll make that motion.
Have a second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
To have a motion to allow them to let vendors participate on the park for that one day.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion to let the vendors
I'll second that.
participate at the park that one day. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Jenkins gravel, the metals come in for the clarifier. If you look at that, there's nothing to vote on. That's what we've already voted on. I've given you the price of the metal. That's $135,000. It's in, it's done. Do y'all want to address, we can address, if you want me to get moved in the other building, we've got to see who's going to be our network provider. If we're going to move with the one you got now, it's going to cost $17,500 for them to hook up your internet over there. Or there's another company that's wanting it for
Sounds
$65,
simple.
take over the maintenance of the city hall for $6,500. You have his bid in there. Or we can start doing it ourselves locally again, and if y'all let me bill my man's IT work for the hours he works, I'll bill you by the hour for whatever hour he's taking. Your security that's provided by the other company is your firewall.
I'm in favor of that one right there. We talked about this already.
You hadn't voted on it.
I
Because you
would I
voted on
make a
it.
motion, we go with that option there, because the price difference is gonna save us a enormous.
Spending $17,500 for IT work right now, and the two things that you're backing up that company's providing, is providing an internet, your backup on your PCs, which would be exactly the same thing. And I don't know whose service you're backing up, the firewall, the Dell firewall on there, but that will make sure that gets done. And that's the two backups. That's the two security
I
guards.
don't know who you have doing it now. I mean, I know of the guy, not personally, who you got doing it now. And I know the guy that could be doing it. And the guy that could be doing it is pretty sharp.
Yeah, I
And
know
it's
that.
cheaper
Yeah.
labor, so.
Your other company wants to bid on its PC doctor, and he's $650 a month. That's not hooking that up over there. That's $650 a
I'll
month.
make a motion, we approve option 2.
Option
Move
3.
on. Option 2, or
Option
what,
3.
3?
Yeah, because you got a guy you got on contract for $17,500. We'll have to give a 30-day notice,
Okay,
and then
I'll say terminate that one.
terminate it.
So what's the motion here? What do we
to
got?
terminate the IT person that the city's using now.
I
And we'll get a local guy to do the work
I second that.
on an hourly
motion.
rate.
You made the motion and you seconded it?
He made the motion. I second it.
All right.
It's getting late, ain't it, Brady?
Seconded.
One time I voted for something, and then I introduced it, then I voted against it.
All right,
But he looked at me like I fell off a turnip truck.
Randy Tidwell,
You gonna
Never
vote for
voted
that?
on it.
do we vote, have a motion and a second? All in favor? I'm sorry, I didn't vote on
Aye.
it. Okay. Who knows where Harmon Drive is in Harmon Circle? Right now up there where the old Energy office is and Randy Tidwell's office is,
Yep.
Energy's got the road paved into their office. If your GPS tells you to turn, and everybody listens to GPS, you're turning down that road to get to the mills. Those semis are getting in there, and we've let Harmon Drive and Harmon Circle past Randy's property, because Randy maintains a pretty good gravel road to the end of his property. From there on around the circle, the road's gone. City quit maintaining it at some time. Those semis don't have a way out of there. I'm not saying go pay the road, but
Well,
to
let's put-
me, to have permission to get somebody like Tig to go in there and get the gravel road back open,
Or, well, why would I be pulling in his road anyway?
because that's where GPS tells you to.
Well,
For
then
these
why don't we
drivers
just
that
put
don't
a-
know what they're doing,
Why don't we put a
GPS.
sign up that says mill next drive?
you've got, there is signs up says mill, and if a semi gets in there, Randy come in and they backed into his fence and tore his fence down twice last month.
Is Randy wanting the thing through there or not?
Randy don't know what he wants. Randy's just asking for some help because they keep backing
I'm with
into his
Chris.
fence.
Let's put a dang sign up. We
Dang
got
sign
more
up
streets
that
than we can
says,
maintain
Not
already.
a through street, mill next drive or something. I mean,
You actually pass, don't you
it's
pass them
before,
there.
if you're coming that direction, it's before, but
Yeah.
if you're going,
Billy.
if you're going that direction, it's
You pass
past.
it,
My back
Don't make any
side
sense.
thinking is giving,
Sign that.
it's going to give the dope heads more access to the backside of the mill and everything. You understand what we're talking about, don't you? You go past the energy place, turn down Tidwell's Road, and
Any
it's
copies of that?
pretty
Get through. Let me
much
get through.
rural
Got
all the
some
way
of
to
this
the
one too?
mill. It's gonna mess their
not
gate
yet.
up, their entrance
Yeah,
gate,
yeah,
those
security,
go
it's
over
gonna
too.
mess everything up.
They voted on those two over too.
That's right.
It really is.
Go ahead and sign that then.
Okay, so y'all want to pass on that?
I say put a sign, I make a motion, we put a nice sign up down there, spend, what do you think?
Dead end road?
That
Yes.
says no through drive, dead
Not
end
a
road,
through
whatever,
street.
it doesn't matter, I mean.
Which one? Okay, to have a motion to buy a sign, what do you want, and, get put up, Brett? Do I have a motion, I have a motion, I have a second?
Yes. The problem is, the mill used to have a big sign up there. Now the actual mill has a little bitty sign. Now Great Southern has a sign up there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then First Step had a sign.
Yes.
Okay, so motion and a second, have a motion and a second?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah, if you pull on that Mills parking lot, they know you're there. I mean, right now, as it is, if we change that up, boy, it's gonna mess it up. I'm
Sign these
afraid.
ones too, boys.
Okay.
What is this IC doctor? I put it on here, IT doc.
PC doctor or whatever.
That's, we took care of that over there.
That
That's
was
done.
the.
We got them out of order, but that's done, okay. Alan Moore, water and sewer taps.
I'll make this very brief. This is something we could actually table the next meeting, but let me go ahead and tell you what I think. What I, and I got some comps here at some other places. What I think that we need, okay, if you're buying a piece of property and you're buying it in a low area that don't have water currently in front of it, you can buy it at a cheaper price. If it don't have, the different amenities or whatever you want to call them, necessities, you can buy it at a cheaper price. But I think that we ought to have two rates for our water and sewer. You ought to have one if you buy a $100 piece of property or a nice piece of property and it has water and sewer and electric and stuff right there, then your rate should be cheaper because you paid more for the property than the guy across the street that has to be bored into his property. Right now, we're doing it a flat rate per person instead of taking into account the boring. I think that we should have a rate for the boring and a rate, I've got it here somewhere and I'll be real fast with it. Give me just a second, I'll try. Shoot, I had the dang thing right there. Okay, Kimsey Water, same side of road, $960. This is without a bore. This, it's $960 for a meter tap. With a bore, it's $1,500 plus. Murfreesboro, $275 inside the city limits. I think it'd help our city growth in some of these places, for one thing. And it's $2,000 with a bore. North Pike County, $1,500. It varies. I got a lot of chicken houses, a lot of rural, so I'm sure they have to just work something out as they go on that. Arkadelphia's $325. If they have to bore, it's an additional $500. So I think if you buy a cheap piece of property or a cheaper piece of property that don't have the stuff, you should pay more. The guy that pays more for the property or whatever buys better property, then he should pay less. That's how I feel about it. And I make a motion, we table this till the next meeting, let everyone think about it.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion second, table this. All in favor?
Aye.
You can table that, okay.
And boring is going up, by the way. And right now, what we gotta get three, basically Brent have 4 people, and then TJ's got. his
Wait
thing.
a minute. Say that one. How many people we gonna have?
No, I'm saying, we gotta have, if TJ don't do our boring, the way I understand it, we have to let 2 or 3 or 4 boring jobs build up before they'll actually come board.
We've got a company, we've actually got one now that's, he's coming in and taking care of what TJ can't.
There for a little while,
Yeah.
we had a little bit of an issue,
Yeah, there was
so
nobody to board.
there's one guy standing between us and being back in the same spot. I mean, there's some people that if they're wanting water by a certain date, they're willing to pay the extra cost for the guy to come. So I like the kind of, anyway, we tabled it, so let's finish up.
All right. Can we table the uniform thing, Matt? Cause I got this other
Yeah.
thing, we need to go
Yeah.
home. I'm gonna table the uniform, I'm gonna bring it back up right
I'll
now.
make a
Make a
motion.
I got can't adjourn yet.
No, I'll make a motion, we table it.
Okay,
I'll second it.
second the motion, we're gonna table uniform, bring it back up next meeting. I'm gonna lay that out, we're gonna bring that back up next meeting, cause there's a bunch of discussion on that, and that one's gonna be
Vote
tabled.
on it.
Vote on it, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, if you look at the next sheet there, the drainage project, I think I put in there, that is, we accepted, opened the bids, and that contractor's supposed to start April 1st. Do y'all remember the old Highway 70 bridge and the culverts on Rock Creek Road? And so he's starting April the 1st, had a pre-construction conference with the asphalting company, and they're gonna start somewhere around April 1 on asphalting. Now then, something that's big that's not on the agenda, and I was working with James Southall today and Brett. Southall has what size?
E88, it's a 19,000 pound excavator.
Our excavator, and Chris can tell you from when he worked for the city, was a problem back then, and it's got worse. You can't move and swing and pull at the same time. They took it to Cat 2 times, and Cat refuses to work on it. Southall has it's a $140,000 machine, the big machine it's got the tilt bucket for ditch cleaning and 2 other buckets. He's gonna be somewhere around $100,000 on the machine. He traded it with a guy, Brett and I went out there and looked at it today. He's parked beside Ewan.
You can't tell the difference.
The tracks have got just a little bit of wear on the rubber tracks. Other than that, the machine ain't got a scratch on it.
This a mid-size?
No, it's gonna be,
19,000.
it's 19,000. The one we got's about a 17,000 machine, about 2,000 pound heavier machine. But
One thing on them, I'm assuming it's the Bobcat, and it's an E85 river track machine, weighs 19,000 pounds.
correct,
Is that correct?
correct.
Okay. Might wanna make sure, before we buy this machine from Southall, that in the event this machine, they've had a lot of trouble with the DEF. That machine right there, DEF, diesel.
This does not have DEF on it.
Well.
It's got the converter, catalytic converter.
Okay,
That's got and
and that's
then
EGR though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right,
Alright.
and it's all hydraulic. It's not electric over hydraulic.
Did you
I
operate
would
some
make
today?
sure,
I moved it around.
I would make sure with Southall that in the event that machine went down, because they've had a lot of trouble with the EGR thing you just named, EGR on some of them machines sitting for months and months and months in shops, that they could, because and the short version is they can only put Bobcat parts on it. You could take that machine to your house and go on eBay and order aftermarket parts, stick your own part on there if you know what's wrong with it. If it goes to a Bobcat or a dealer, then they have to stick a warranty part on there. So they're backlogged. I mean, I just bought one for a Kubota the other day, ordered it, and it was $2,100, $5,500 back ordered, We Googled it, ordered it for $1,100. It was gonna be here in 48 hours. And that's why all of your tractor stores and everything else have got all this equipment sitting in the service department, because they can't fix it legally, so they're gonna have to make some adjustments on that. But what I was gonna say was, I am totally in favor of us moving forward on a nice machine, because one thing you don't want to do, what he's talking about there, is the valves and stuff sloppy in it, that's what it boils down to. And I'd be totally in favor of us moving forward on something like that, if Southall would give us a commitment that, at least for a certain length of time, that if we had, that he would, provide us a backup if that one had to go in the shop and they couldn't.
He's offered to bring this machine over and let us run it until we make up our mind on what we're gonna do with the other machine.
What
It's
I'm
gonna be in
saying
the
though
morning.
is, if he gets hung up in a deal where we can't get parts for it, will he provide us with another machine for a while?
You're still under warranty, and I guarantee you Southall will give you.
No, he'll give it, but I mean, for how much?
He's looking at how long the warranty is. That problem you're talking about was 5 years and the machine's.
Yeah, but what people's run into is they're in the shop, they're under warranty, they're gonna fix the machine, but they still don't have nothing to work with. So they're having to go out and buy other machines.
If we had to buy an aftermarket part, he'll put it on for us if you can find it. If there's
Or would he give us a loaner?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanna know.
think Southall will probably give us.
Southall, he offered a loaner today
Yeah. He offered
and wasn't even offering to
machine
sell you a
today.
machine.
Yeah, but by the time we looked at it.
He's got a bunch of 4200s you get right now on the loaner. Those that.
Well, I was at Southall's recently and I was talking to him about a whole line of machines, and so that was,
He just traded
that they had in
14.
the shop waiting on
11.
parts for.
11. He just traded 11. All them 11 just come in from S&S. He just traded them for 11 new ones. That's what a lot of those used ones are.
If he'll keep the city running, I'm in favor of it. If
The one problem we're gonna have with this, and Southall told us today, he would trade that new trailer we bought. Is not rated for this. He said, I'll just give you credit back on it. He said, your new trailer's gonna run about $4,000 more to go to the heavier trailer to haul this machine on. Truck can pull it, but the trailer's, what was your trailer rated for?
15.5.
And this is 19,000 machine. He said, you gotta go up to he said, I'll get you the heavier trailer. It's about
whenever we cross 25,001 pounds, we gotta have a CDL. Does he
You
have
got
a
CDL. I mean, we got CDL.
Do we have other CDL people on staff?
I'm working on it.
But
Costs
you're
$4,000.
you're past that limit with what you're hauling right now, because the truck and the trailer with the weight on it, you're past that 1 ton 350 is a CDL licensed truck anyway, because truck counts weight too. The machine you got right now is 15,000 pounds, 17,000 pounds.
Typically, the rule they go by is the air brake rule, but generally speaking, but yeah, you're right.
This new boy, he'll show. But anyway, if y'all want to do it, we can make the deal with him, and he'll swap the trailer for. He had called. That was the phone that was ringing when he was in the council meeting. I tried to call him back in the break, and I guess he's went to bed. But he told us the truck with 2 buckets. I mean, the machine with 2 buckets in it. That's a high dollar bucket
Yeah.
that does the rolling for the ditch cleaning. What was it? A 6 foot or 48 inch?
No, it's 60 inch.
60, 5 foot
Yeah,
tilt bucket.
yeah.
And it'll have the blade on it, which ours don't have the blade. It's got a lot of feature on it ours don't have. It's got the thumb on it. That'll be we told him we wanted a 24, and he's got a 24-18 and a 30-inch bucket plus
How
a
many hours you got on it?
700.
I
The guy traded the machine in because he got out of business and he started working for a church camp that had 400 acres, and he wanted a smaller machine to do the church camps. All he wanted to do. James, I don't ever get a trade like this. And if you look at it on the lot, it's that first machine that's sitting right there when you pull in the driveway. It looks brand new.
Brand new. I've seen it out there, and I thought.
I thought it was a brand new machine. He said, "Come here and look at it." He said, "It's brand new." He said, "It looks like." But anyway, you're $143,000 for the machine if you buy it new with that equipment on it.
It's already been sold once.
Yeah, he's took it in on
So we
trade.
won't have to pay sales tax on
No,
the second time.
shouldn't have.
Okay.
Well, I don't think you do. You?
Well,
know?
state-
I don't
State
say
doesn't
the
have to
first
pay.
time you will
Huh?
from a dealer.
City doesn't have to pay sales tax anyways, do we?
No.
City doesn't have to pay sales tax anyways, right?
Well, it's about 10,000 where you not stay now.
Yeah.
I just paid 7,500 on one.
I thought we didn't.
And that would not have to go out to bid because it's a used piece of equipment.
I make the motion, we get the machine and,
That's not
The
with
new
trading
trailer.
on that other machine. He's gonna give you a price if you wanna trade that other one in. He's gonna give you, that's not tied to that
I
price.
second that
so
motion.
should we just table this to the next meeting?
No, the price of the machine's there, then he's gonna tell you what he'll give you for the other machine if you wanna accept it. He's gonna buy the other machine from you, and he's gonna tell you the price on it. That's not including the
Okay,
trade-in.
then I'll make the motion.
I
that
make
we-
them,
Go ahead.
well, I say that we just hold our machine for, I mean, that he gives us a bid in a price, and then we discuss it at the next meeting.
We can do that,
That's-
cause
that's
he's
right.
not, the machine is $100,000 plus
Can
a
you
few
get a
dollars.
verbal guarantee that he'll keep the city running if we have that EGR problem? And then I
E-
second that.
EPR,
EGR.
EGR, okay.
Where they, yeah,
I'll do
okay.
Okay, so, what we got, Alan makes a motion.
And I'm not for sure on the price, cause he's getting with me on the other buckets and all, and I didn't get back with him. It's around $100,000.
Okay, so Chris
Maybe
makes a
little
motion to purchase the machine,
And the trailer.
And the
because we're,
trailer.
you know,
Upgrade the trailer.
purchase the machine and the trailer,
upgrade.
upgrade trailer. And upgrade trailer. And we're not gonna worry about the sale of the thing yet.
He's gonna give you a price on what he'll give you for your machine, and the city can make up mind whether they wanna sell it to him or not. Or you wanna try to sell it. That's- The boy looked at the machine, it looks at it for him, he said, this machine's, looks in better shape than I thought it would be for a machine its age. He said, y'all have kept good care of it. No hydraulic leaks, he said. But you may be out of whole pump.
I just bought a 19,000-pound one with a blade the other day.
Okay, so I have a motion to purchase the machine and upgrade the trailer.
Got a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The only thing I got left is when do y'all want, we've got 3 meetings without a council meeting. When do y'all want to do your next council meeting?
I also need to bring up the chamber thing to get it.
Oh, she had a chamber issue that we need to vote for. I'm sorry, I forgot.
And it just has to get in the minute, so the chamber is, trying to get a grant for festival funding, advertising, and it just has to be in our minutes of our meeting for them to apply for it. So it doesn't have anything to do with the city, we have to do nothing, it just has to be in the minutes. So I just
Need
mentioned
a
it.
motion?
I don't know.
Yeah,
To
put it-
in
it needs to be in the
minutes,
minutes, you need a
has to
motion.
be-
So what does that have to be in a minute?
Make a motion for the chamber to apply for the, what grant?
It is a festival advertising funding grant.
I make
so
a motion, we authorize the chamber to apply for the festival advertising grant.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is it my turn now? I make a motion, we adjourn.
We gotta get a meeting date.
No.
No,
Y'all don't wanna
Have to
cut.
to adjourn.
you don't have to adjourn.
Okay, make a motion to adjourn, I'm fine. Just give me a meeting
I'll
date.
second that. Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Y'all got an idea on when you might like the next meeting date?